Introduce yourself.
My name is
Fucking
Ben,
man.
vocalist for Goatwhore.
Thanks for joining me. You're out supporting Haunting Curse, third effort. Let's talk a little bit about the album. How was it working with Eric?
Eric's an amazing individual to work with, man.
Yep.
He's, let's just say he'll bust your balls if you're not ready when you go in there. You know?
No shit.
He stays on top of you. He wants to make sure, I mean, as a band, you want to make sure your stuff sounds good, but as a whole, he wants to make sure not only do you sound good, but the product he's sending out represents him as well as far as producing it and everything. He's an amazing individual, and his past is just phenomenal. Playing with Morbid Angel, Hate Eternal, Ripping Corpse. So he has that knowledge of like metal, thrash metal, death metal. So it helps when you go into a situation, somebody knows what's going on instead of going blindly into something and having to explain things and kind of build the sound from there. He kind of knows you start at a decent level before you start going into it and changing things. But he's a phenomenal person to work with, man. A phenomenal musician as well, as well as producer.
So you guys were pretty prepared entering the studio then?
Yeah, pretty much.
You guys had moved because of the whole Louisiana thing?
The storm causes, because we couldn't get in much, and it forced it closed the practice spaces that bands in that area use. So we ended up, our drummer's from Phoenix, so we ended up going out there for about a month and a half, 2 months, and finished writing the record. It was kind of like, there was this time, and Metal Blade was kind of like, look, we wanted you to be in the studio by this time, but we understand because of the situation, and we felt like we've already had things in the past that have halted us. And we're like, let's make something positive out of it. I know it sounds crazy, a black metal saying positive, but take something positive out of the situation that happened and finish writing the record and do what we do.
Yep. Yeah, I think you have to with that type of situation. If you make it, it's already a negative,
well, it's two things. Some people will end up brushing things off and waiting, and some people will just take it and utilize it as a step to move forward.
So how prepared were you entering? You said you took a month and a half, you went there. Did you have 2 songs written? Did you go there and write most of your time? Where were you lyric-wise writing in your period of time?
I was still kind of writing after we came back from Phoenix, because we had finished, the music was all structurally done by the time we came back home from Phoenix. And then we just practiced and everything. And then I was just, filling in the spots from there and working out the vocals and everything like that. So, but, and there was a few things, even, I get in the studio and I like to change things sometimes, sometimes you've been fucking with it for so long, but then all of a sudden you notice that there's something else, you're like, oh, I could do this to it instead, and whatever, you try both things and see which one turns out better, and then, that's the great thing about the studio. You can go in and if you have different ideas, you can try them all, and then pick the one that you like, how it came out the most, pretty much, so, it's, they have things, I still get into the studio and there's things I want to change, right there, I'm like, this whole thing needs to be shifted slightly, it just, there's something about it just doesn't feel right.
Right on. All right. Sounds of the Underground tour. First couple dates. How's it going?
It's going really well. Really well. We have early slot. We have a flip-flop first and second with This Is Hell. So it's sometimes you can be worried because you never know if they're gonna get the doors open on time, if things are gonna go right. And the schedule is solid. If you blow into time, then that deletes songs from your set. So.
How'd you prepare for your set list? You got, like you said, tight time.
We found a group of songs that total to about, we have a 20-minute set, so we found a group of songs that total to about 18 and a half, 19, given a minute yapping between certain songs, and we just decided that, with the first 3 songs, we kind of connected them and have it just blow through constantly and then give 2 little breaks, but for the last 2 songs to kind of say, hey, we're Goatwhore, introduce some things and everything and let the people in the crowd know what's going on. Because there's definitely a lot of new faces out there as well.
Definitely so. All right. A little bit about the tour. Who'd you want to see play? Any of the bands, pretty cool lineup, right?
Well, they're all kind of different.
Diverse.
Some bands I've already seen that are on this tour. I've seen them live in other situations, and there's some bands that I'm, just first hearing of, and I always like to check out new things and see what's going on, whether it's a younger, new, fresh band or a band that's older that I've always wanted to see that I never got to see. So, it's good just to see it all around in general. I'm really open to a lot of different music, so I want to see what's going on. Some of them, I might like better than others, but that's taste, you know. We all like different things, and that's what's so good about this kind of tour.
Yep.
There's a diversity within it.
Because you guys bring that too, man. You guys are fucking, you know, one of the killer bands on this tour.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Well, we bring more of the metal-based edge.
Right on.
To it.
Yep. All right. What do you think of it? Like Ozfest, you got Warped Tour, Sounds of the Underground, Project Revolution, summer tours. What do you think's the killer one? Sounds, I think, is killer lineup. Ozfest, you know, it's free this year.
Yeah, they all have their variances. I think at points though, like now it gets to be too much in a sense, you know.
Yep.
I mean, the American people only have so much loot, you know, especially kids these days. So it's like you can't. The whole idea of the festing is great, but then when it starts getting out of control and they have like the Warped Tour, Sounds of the Underground, Ozfest, all these things, it starts conflicting a lot, you know, and a lot of kids can only pick one to go to, you know,
money.
2 out of the 3 or something like that. So,
yeah.
You know, and then the lucky kids get to go to all 3. But you know, it's something where you don't want to burn it out. You know, it's something unique and everything. And I'd hate to see them burn things out with it. You know, and there's going to come a point where you're just not going to be able to do it because it's just not feasible, and metal's just not at its prime at the time. But you know, that it gives it time to expand and grow. So years down the line, it'll sprout up again and start something. I mean, look back when they had like Lollapalooza, and then that kind of buried
still
itself.
Around. It's still around, you know.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. You know, it pops back up, but yeah.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
that was something huge every summer. You know?
Definitely so.
And then like Ozfest started up and everything.
Yep.
So they have its cycles, you know. And then you get to a point where it doesn't as impacting as it used to be. You know, but then something always new will sprout up. You know, there'll be some other kind of crazy thing.
Yep. Next for you guys, you're gonna hop off this tour. What's next for Goatwhore?
We get off of this tour, we go home for about 3 weeks, and then we do the Metal Blade Records 25th anniversary tour. With Cannibal Corpse, the Black Dahlia Murder, the Red Chord, and not too sure, maybe a band called Aeon is on it.
Yep.
So that should be an interesting tour for us as well.
You got to represent. You did some songs in the after show, New England Metal and Hardcore Festival, correct?
Yes, definitely.
Right on. Represented for Metal Blade's 25th. You get to go out and do that again.
Yeah, the 25th anniversary day at the New England Hardcore Fest.
Yeah. Killer show. You got to be honored with that.
Definitely.
Now you get to go out and represent that. That's cool. MySpace. You guys pick your top 8?
We do. Yeah. We do. We kind of
who does it?
Like sometimes me and Sammy actually deal with the MySpace as much. We try to answer as much as we can, but it's not, you know, the easiest. Our time is kind of restricted. Being on the road, sometimes you just don't have internet access, and then when finally you do, you got pages of friends to add, things to answer, and you can only do so much, you know. But we change the top 8 of coin. Like sometimes we put like other friends that are in bands, their bands in there, or other people we know in there. Like right now, like the whole Sounds on the Underground tour had this thing where all the bands add each other as their top friends. So it's kind of like a continuous promotion. So we have some, you know, odd things going on in there as well right now.
So the kids that are probably watching this haven't heard from you can hear some songs on MySpace. Go to goatwhore.net, correct?
Yeah, goatwhore.net is our website, and myspace.com/goatwhore is our MySpace page.
To hear some songs.
And just like I tell people that always say, hey, you know, why MySpace? The thing cool about it is it's free, and then you don't have to belong to it to see the main page. And the main page has songs on it, has tour dates, and everything like that. So it's almost like an existing website, but the band actually can maintain it and keep it more up to date than their basic website.
Definitely so. You bigger on YouTube or MySpace?
They're both kind of cool. Because YouTube's cool because it shows a lot of bootleg videos and stuff, where back in the day you used to have to like trade or find somebody that bootleg stuff and buy it or whatever. So it's a cool thing.
The age of the internet.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to cut this out. Add anything to the interview, anything that I missed, anything you want to tell fans, Goatwhore, it's your time.
We'll be out on tour in September, October with Cannibal Corpse, Black Dahlia Murder, Red Chord, Aeon for the Metal Blade Records 25th anniversary tour. Check our website, our MySpace, check the Metal Blade website, metalblade.com for dates or anything like that. Keep posted to all our stuff for future touring beyond that, and we'll probably be hitting the practice run to work on some new tunes later on this year, maybe record a new record by the end of next year.
Nice. guys. Check them out. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.